Hello, Scorpio. Welcome to your June soul session. I'm Princess India. If you're new and if you're family, welcome back, my friend, and let's not, or whatever. If you aren't familiar with what my soul sessions are, they are your spirituality as well as personal development readings. All of my cards are acting so weird today, in which we look at the energy that you guys may be encountering for a given month for the sole purpose of giving you clarity, insight, and guidance and all that good stuff. You know what I'm saying? So anywho, we're going to go ahead and jump into you guys cards and see what's going on for you guys in the month of June. The first card out, second card out. The first card out is the Ancestors card, and that's equivalent. I'm using the Hoodoo Tarot, so some of the cards are different, but this is the Death card in essence. The next card that you guys have is the Six of Knives in the reverse. So what it is looking like, my wonderful Scorpios. The Death card, of course, is Scorpio energy, but this is more or less speaking to in the latter part of May. You guys are, and I mean, hey, all these readings are literally aligning with this super full moon eclipse in Sagittarius. So it very well could be from like the 15th of May all the way down into the end, but whatever the case, you guys are leaving out of May and coming into June under a spirit of death in a non-creepy way and more in like a transitional type of format. So it's more or less something in you guys' lives ended, and with that particular ending, there's no goesies backsies on it. So it's more or less a transition or a transformation into a new form, which means, like, say hypothetically, if it was a job, it's like, you know, the company shutting down. So you can't literally go back to the job because the company doesn't exist anymore. But with the, and not saying that that's literally what's happening, but more or less like an example, Scorpio, I'm forewarning you guys, it's Mercury retrograde in my mouth and my brain. They just doing their own thing. You know what I'm saying? Anywho, but with the Six of Knives, what that more or less says to me is that although there was an ending, it's not an instantaneous move forward per se. Because it's almost kind of being trapped in the mind. It's not really knowing how to move forward. And I don't know why I feel like I need to say this, but for some of you, this is kind of literal. I don't know if someone actually like passed away, and because of like, you know, travel restrictions or something, you guys aren't able to travel to this person like for their funeral or something like that, or it's just you don't have the money or something like that to be able to travel, and maybe potentially somebody could have had a baby and you're not able to be there. It's a lot of messages I'm getting with that. It's either someone passing away and not being able to travel there, or, you know, maybe like like your kid had your grandkid or something like that, and you weren't able to be there because of travel restrictions, something along those lines. But other than that, it's more or less that something ended, and every ending is a new beginning. So there is an energy here of a new beginning. However, on a personal level, Scorpio's having some trouble on moving forward. So it's kind of like the energy that you guys are in now. It's kind of like an unrest, a little bit of confusion, a little bit of, you know, dis-ease within oneself, and not really knowing how to move forward. Because with the next card that came out is the Ace of Baskets, which is the equivalent of the Ace of Cups in reverse, is more or less like a disappointment. So whether this is, you know, something that happened, whether losing someone or gaining someone, and something blocking you from getting there, whether that's in a mental sense of not knowing how to move forward, or it's like literal, like, you know, travel restrictions type of things, is leaving you guys in a place to where there's a sense of upset, like it's a sadness in so many words. The next card you guys have is Dr. Buzzard, which is the Justice card. So that's more or less speaking to the scales being balanced, reward and punishment and all that good stuff. For those of you where this is something that was lost, right? Or, you know, like whether it's losing a job or I don't want to, like, not in reference to losing a person, but whether this is like a breakup, a job loss or something like along those lines, it's pretty normal to be in the mental space that you guys are in coming into June with this Six of Knives in the reverse, like not really knowing how to move forward. I said something similar with, I think it was Cancer, where it's like not really knowing what to do from here, because it's kind of like something like the rug being pulled from under you, proverbially speaking. And like the situation you found yourself in, it's not something that you ever expected. I can't remember if I said this in their extended or in the reading on YouTube, but it's not really something that you expected. So you weren't necessarily prepared for that particular outcome. So that's where it comes to this indecision of not really knowing how to move forward. It's like one isn't comfortable, like you're sad where you are, right? You're not necessarily fulfilled where you are, where you ended up, but it's not really knowing how it is to move forward from that either, because it's something that kind of hits you out of left field, if that's making sense. But this Justice card is more or less a reassurance to you guys, letting you know that the scales are balanced. So whatever it was that, you know, kind of dissipated out of your life or ended, that's not somewhere that you were supposed to be. You know what I mean? It's not, it wasn't a part of the plan, and I cannot freaking talk. It potentially was something that was holding you guys back from where it is that you are ultimately destined to go. I can also see this with the next card that came out, which is the Three of Sticks in the reverse, because on two sides of this, it's like the scales were balanced in May to free you up from something that was no longer your path. Because I feel whatever this thing was, it was preventing you guys from seeing like an alternative pathway. So it's kind of something that was like a ball and chain, if you will. Like I feel whatever this thing was, like say hypothetically, going back to this job example, like you were working at this job and say potentially that this career path or this, you know, particular position at this job had no opportunities for upward advancement, right? And you may or may not have known that, but it's this level of comfort, like it's something that you know, and you've done this job for so long that the likelihood of you leaving was pretty much like slim to none type of deal. So it's like with this company shutting down, or, you know, God forbid, like getting fired from this job, right? And this would, of course, with this being old energy, be something that you guys would know about already by the time you're watching this. But it's like, if it wasn't for that, you guys may have potentially stayed stuck there. So even though the position that you're in now is kind of scary because it's like the unknown, and it's an unknown that was never really an option or something that you never really considered. If this thing wouldn't have kind of, you know, faded out or been eclipsed out of your life, it would have kept you guys from the future that's intended for you. So it's almost like you would have held yourself back. So it's kind of like a temporary hurt, or I can't necessarily say sacrifice, because sacrifice would, you know, be more you guys initiating this. And I mean, in the event, if some of you did, you know what I mean? If you did initiate it, it's like a temporary pain for an overall greater gain. Ha, there it is. That's perfect. The next card is the Garden. That is the equivalent of the World card. And at the bottom of you guys' deck, dang, y'all got buku major arcanas, just like Libra did. So if you guys are, you know, Scorpio, Libra cusps, definitely go check out Libra, because with them, it's all about them starting like a whole new cycle in their lives. Then we have at the bottom of your deck, this is going to be a quick reading, y'all. I can tell y'all that now. The Grandchildren card, and that's the equivalent of the Star card. And of course, I said Scorpio energy with death. Justice, of course, is Libra energy. The World card is Taurus energy, all the fixed signs, Taurus energy, Scorpio energy, Aquarius energy, and Leo energy, if you feel compelled to watch any of those. And of course, the Star is again Aquarius energy. But anywho, so this is speaking about wishes being fulfilled. So here's the thing. I feel for you guys, Scorpio. This is a really great month for you guys, because I feel this is an epic karmic cycle that ended, right? And I feel that whatever this is that ended for you guys, or the things that shifted and changed, you guys weren't aware that this wasn't necessarily in your highest good, right? or that it was preventing you from seeing what was possible for you moving forward, or that even you guys may have been settling for less, or holding yourself back in some way, shape, form, or fashion. And even though it's a temporary upset, it's very much divinely guided, because there's a lot of lessons that one can learn from this cycle that just ended. If I were to kind of throw in here, I said it in another reading, I can't remember which one it was, but my assistant was telling me about a lot of astrological stuff that's going on. And we had tracked it back to May of 2012, and how a 9-year cycle from then till May, and that cycle wrapping up with the eclipse at the end of May this year. And so from that time span, so if you're kind of wondering what this is about, it really feels heavily towards like that 9-year cycle. So there's a lot of things that have transpired. And I mean, for some of you, this could go back to like, was it like December? I think December of last year, of 2020, if I'm not mistaken, of like time period. So it's like, from thinking about last year or thinking about the last 9 years, just kind of repetitive cycles you guys have found yourself in, or lessons that you learned in that time period. This is pretty much the signifier that this particular cycle for you guys is wrapping up, right? So it's kind of like being in a proverbial purgatory, if you will, at present, of like being stuck between two worlds. It's like leaving the land of the living, but not quite yet, in the land of, well, technically Earth is kind of not the land of the living, but you get the point. You know what I'm saying? It's being somewhere between like Earth and the afterlife, and you're like in this proverbial purgatory for the first half of June, right? And it's not necessarily comfortable. However, you're in a transition in the month of June. It's like things are shifting and changing. And because it's Mercury retrograde, I think that this is a great time to really kind of sit and reflect and think about what it is, like what lessons you guys have learned in the last year, or, most importantly, within the last 9 years, like any repetitive patterns that you've seen showing up in your life. Because I feel the aha moment that you guys may get this month from your self-reflection is realizing exactly what I was saying, is not seeing how this was holding you back from your future, or that you weren't really emotionally fulfilled, or that this wasn't in alignment with you, or, it was causing some sense of stress or unrest in your life. You know what I mean? And with this World card, it's kind of like sealing the deal, saying that, that chapter is over and now it's time to embark on a new one. But the chapter that you guys are opening now with the Star card is one in which your wishes are fulfilled, and something that's more in alignment with you, your truth, and your soul's truth. You know what I'm saying? But anywho, that has been your reading, Scorpio. I'm going over to my network to do you guys extended. So if you're about that life, follow me on over there. But if not, I still love your face, and I will see you guys sooner than later, my friends. Love your face, Scorpio. Enjoy June. You know what I'm saying?